Good morning. How are you today? Well, it's a nice day out here. It's overcast. It's cool in the 70s. That's nice. But the weather around the world is not quite as nice as this. I thought we should revisit the White House pushing against social media. And I'm not going to defend social media except insofar as I get uncomfortable when administrations tell private bodies who can say what. Now, the bully pulpit is one thing, using the forces of government is another. And those of you who are no fan of Facebook may know that nevertheless they have invited people to put frames showing that they support the vaccine, that they have taken down some people who were saying you don't need the vaccine. And so they have shown initiative in trying to encourage the message that vaccines are significant and important. We should be attacking the people who are telling people not to take, not those who are hosting it, particularly when they're doing something about it, but we should be chasing those who are telling this lie. Why not point at the Republican Party? Why not point at the local officials? Why not tell people, look, you are at risk, and we're just not doing that. And one of the things that's disconcerting is that you may have followed the Texas delegation, I've mentioned it, coming to D.C. to ask Congress to pass the law to protect them from what the Texas legislature wants to do, to suppress the vote. Well, that's not the story that I'm talking about now. The story I'm talking about now is that 3 members of that delegation came back positive for the coronavirus. Now, each of those 3 had been double vaccinated. So when they're talking about the Delta variant and they're talking about the limitations of the vaccine we have, be aware that there may be limitations that have not been tested that have to do with the Delta variant. Also keep in mind that we've always been told that the vaccines are not 100% and that they should at the very least protect you from a death that might otherwise happen if you were not vaccinated. And we have seen cases of people, particularly in those states where they're not having vaccinations, falling prey to the Delta variant and the virus generally. And this is a real health emergency, and we have to do something about it. Now, and it seems obvious, get vaccinated, stupid. The next thing that I can think of that also involves a failure of government is the global warming. We have, 240,000 acres on fire in Oregon. And the people are skeptical it has anything to do with global warming. And on top of that, they're blaming fuzzy-headed thinkers and, the Department of Agriculture and things like that. They're responsible for this. This is the problem. We not only don't believe the evidence before us, not the burning heat in the West Coast, not the floods in Europe, not the algae down in Miami, the red algae that's collected because of the excess of phosphorus and so forth, that's killing the fish, and the people are protesting, saying, do something about it. Well, you can't do something about it overnight. Anybody who's familiar with algae knows that doesn't happen in an instant. It takes time to build up. And our bad policies encourage the fact that it's going to happen. So continue to press upon our representatives, in quotes, to pay attention to the initiatives that we really need, instead of fighting each other between science and lies as to what our nation is and needs to be. So I don't know if you saw our podcast yet, but if you get a chance, listen to it. I had a good time with John McLaughlin, who's a former investigator, radio broadcaster, up from Harvard, and the two of us had some fun doing a show yesterday, talking generally about things. And we might pair up again in the future, so I'd be interested to hear what you think about that. And meantime, I am here in my temple, my natural temple. cathedral of trees. And I guess news by definition is usually not good, but news that's ignored becomes particularly catastrophic. So we have to know these things and encourage people to do the right thing. And Clyburn today was saying we should carve out a rule to eliminate the filibuster in the case of voting. I agree with him. I don't know why we don't do away with it entirely, because it also applies to other initiatives, including how we're going to reform our justice system. So enough of that. Have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.